Hi friends, my name is Milan Dolaria. In previous video, we learned up to the exercise 3.2. So in this video, we start our new exercise 3.3. Okay, in this exercise, we need to learn about the graphs. Okay, bar graphs. So here, first of all, read the question number 1. Use the bar graph to answer the following questions. Okay, use the bar graph to answer the following questions. First question is, which is the most popular pet? Which is the most popular pet? Okay, so pets owned by students of class 7, and here name of the pet animals: dogs, cats, rabbits, hamsters and others. Okay, so here we need to check the highest height of the bar graph. Okay, here we need to check for most popular pet, we need to check highest height of the bar graph. So here for cat we have the highest height, right? It reach up to 10. It is owned by the 10 students, right? So cat is most popular pet. Here we need to write cat is the most popular pet. Okay, because for dogs we have 8 students, for cat we have 10 students. Okay, here up to this height we need to check it. Here we have only 2 students, here we have 5 students, because it is in between 4 to 6, so 5 students, and here this is in between 2 and 4, so 3 students, so highest 10. But we need to give the name of the pet animal. It is cat. Cat is the most popular pet. Okay, how many students have dog as a pet? How many students have dog as a pet? So for dog we need to check this column. Okay, this bar graph is up to the height of 8 students. Okay, here we have answer 8, so 8 students have dog as a pet. Okay, for dog we need to check the bar of a dog. This is called bar graph. That means these are the called bar. Bar, that means column. Okay, so here for dog it reach up to the 8 number. So 8 is our answer. 8 students have dog as a pet. Okay, after that, question number 2. Here first of all read this question. Read the bar graph which shows the number of books sold by a bookstore during 5 consecutive years and answer the following questions. Here one bar graph is given to you. It is years versus the number of books sold. Okay, and here scale is 1 centimeter is equals to 100 books. Now we need to give the answer of these questions. About how many books, about how many books were sold in 1989, 1990, 1992. Okay, so here first of all 1989. If we check the column of 1989, it is near about 200, but it is not exactly match with the 200, right? It is somehow less than the 200. So if we have the proper graph, then we can give the proper answer, but here we just give to estimated answer. So 1989, here it is less than 200 and in between 100 to 200. So approximately just we give the numbers 180. Okay, it is near about 200, so 180 books were sold in 1989. Okay, here we need to check the height of this column. It is near about 200, in between 100 to 200, so it's a 180. Maybe it's an approximate answer. Maybe your answers and our answers and textbook answers can be different. Okay, because here we do not have the proper graph, that's why. After that we need to check the answer for 1990. Okay, so here even if we check the height properly, so 1990 it is near about 500 and in between 400 to 500, right? Near about 500 and in between 400 to 500. So here even we need to give the approximate answer, okay, which is near about 500 and 400 to 500. So approximately we give the digits here 475, 475. Okay, so answer of 1990 it is 475. After that we need to give the answer for 1992. If we check the answers for 1992, so here this is near about 200 and in between 200 to 300. Near about 200 and in between 200 to 300. So it is a 225. Okay, it's a 225. So now here for 1989, again I repeat this question for 1989, near about 180. 1990, near about 475, and 1992, near about 225. Okay, after that internal question number 2. In which year were about 475 books sold and about 2 to 5 books are sold? So right now we already gave the answer. We already know the answer for 475 books. It is a near about here, right? 475 lies between 400 to 500 and near about 500. So it lies between 400 to 500. So if we check this line, so here we have only 1 year. It is 1990. Okay, in 1990, 470 books were sold. Here we need to check the for 475. So from 475, just check the horizontal direction. So here we have the year 1990. And if we think about if we talk about the 225, so near about 200 and 200 to 300. So if we extend one line, so here if we uh, if we draw this straight line, so it approximately near about 1992. Here this is not a straight line, that's why this problem arises. Okay, and in question number 1 for 1992 we have already written that 2 to 5 books were sold. Okay, so here answer is 1992. So here for second question, in the year 1990 475 books were sold and in the year 1992 2 to 5 books were sold. After that question number 3, in which years were fewer than 250 books sold? In which years were fewer than 250 books sold? We need to give the uh, we just need to write the years here. Okay, so 250 it is exactly between 200 to 300. 250 it means exactly in between 200 to 300. So just draw one horizontal line. So here we have 2 years. First one is 1989 and 1992. So two answers are there, 1989 and 1992. Okay, in which year fewer than 250 books were sold. So 250 books it is all exactly in between 200 to 300, right? Exactly in between 200 to 300. So here we have two answers for this question. Okay, 1992 and 1999. So in 1989 and 1992, fewer than 250 books were sold. Okay, after that, next question. Can you explain how you would estimate the number of books sold in 1989? Can you explain how you would estimate the number of books sold in 1989? Here first of all we give the answer for 1989 it is near about 180. So now we need to give the explanation why we take the answer 180. Okay, by reading the graph we calculate that 180 books were sold in 1989. By calculating in the graph, if a proper graph is given to you maybe in textbook, okay, so then you can then you can find the exact digits. Okay, in between 100 to 200, total 10 lines are there, right? 10 small lines are there, and for 1 centimeter 100 books is there. Okay, in 1 centimeter we have 10 lines, right? 1 centimeter is equal to 100 books, so for each line we have 10 books. So for each line we have 10 books, and if this will reach up to the 8th line, okay, if 1989 reach up to the 8th line, so from up to this point it is 100. Now after that 8 lines, and each line represents 10 books, so 80 books, so 100 plus 80, 180. Okay, in this way we can estimate the number of books solved. So here we need to write, by reading the graph we calculate that 180 books were sold in 1989. Okay, after that, question number 3. First of all, read this question. Number of children in 6 different classes are given below. Number of children in 6 different classes are given below. Represent the data on a bar graph. That means here details is given to you. We need to draw the bar graph. Okay. Number of children in 6 different classes are given below. Represent the data on bar graph. So here for representing the details on the bar graph, first of all we need to draw the two axes, x-axis and y-axis. Okay, so at the end just write down here x-axis, and here just write down the y-axis. Okay, x-axis and y-axis. Now numerical terms we need to represent on the y-axis, and details we need to put on the x-axis. Okay, numerical terms we need to represent on the y-axis, and this non-numerical terms we need to represent on the x-axis. Okay, so on x-axis we take the class. And we need to start from 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. So 5th to 10. Okay, so on x-axis we represent class. Here 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. Okay, that means in between we need to put 1 centimeter blank portion. Okay, that means we need to use the first box. After that we need to put one box left. We need to use third box, then again one left. We need to use the next one, again one left. Okay, so in between one box we need to use here. Okay, and here remaining space is there. So here 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Okay, here this is the blank portion. Here we do not need to represent anything. Now number of children, that means numerical value that we need to represent on the y-axis, and on y-axis we need to cover all this number. Okay, so minimum number is 80 and maximum number is 135. So we need to cover the numbers in between 80 to 135. Okay, we need to represent the numbers which start from 80 and end up to the 135. So on y-axis we need to represent number of childrens. Okay, number of childrens, that means our second variable, number of childrens. Now here we can represent like this: 0, 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175 and 200. Okay, so in this data all the numbers are covered. Okay, 0, 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175 and 200. So here in each box, in between each box we have the gap of 25, right? Because 0 to 25. So here we have the gap 25. So in scale we need to write this 1 centimeter. One box, that means 1 centimeter. Okay, one box has the measurement 1 centimeter. So here in scale we need to write 1 centimeter is equals to, here we take 25 gap, right? So 1 centimeter is equals to 25 children's. So whatever scale we take, that we need to write in the right corner of the graph. Scale measurement, one box is equals to 1 centimeter. Here we take the gap of 25. So 1 centimeter is equals to 25 children's. Okay. Now for 5th class, we need to draw the column up to 135. Okay. 135 lies between 150 to 125. So in between 135 for 5th class. Okay. Now here we have 125 and 150. Now exact number between these two, 125 and 150, exactly in between we have 37.5. Okay, so 35 is near about the 37.5. So we need to take the height of column up to that point. Okay, up to the near about middle point. Okay, so for 5th class we need to draw this column up to the exactly midpoint, near about the midpoint of this box. Okay, so for 5th class 135, and here even just write down the number 135. It is not given in this figure, but you need to write it. After that for 6th class 120. Okay, for 6th class 120. So 120 it is near about 125. So in between 100 to 125, near about 125, we have the measurement 120. Okay, here in between 100 to 125 and near about 125 we have the 120. Okay, and for 7th class we have the measurement 95. Okay, for 7th class we have the measurement 95. So 95 lies between 75 to 100 and near about 100. So near about 100 we need to represent 7th class, column of 7th class. Okay, we need to take the height of this bar graph is equals to 95. So 95 lies between 75 to 100 and near about 100. So up to near about 100 we need to take the height of this column. After that for 8th class it is 100. Okay, for 8th class 100. So exact measurement we have here for 100, right? Exact measurement we have here for 100. So for 8th class we need to reach up to the height 100. Okay, so for 8th class we need to draw the column up to the height of 100. After that for 9th class we need to reach up to the 90. Now 90 lies between 75 to 100. 90 lies between 75 to 100, and in between 75 to 100 exact midpoint is 87.5. So 90, which is very close to the 87.5, it means we need to take the height of 9th column is near about midpoint of 75 to 100. Okay, because midpoint of 75 to 100 it is 87.5 and 90 is very close to it. So we need to take the height of 9th class, it is near about midpoint of 75 to 100. Okay, after that last is 10th class. Now for 10th class number of children is equals to 80. Now 80 lies between 75 to 100 and very close to the 75. Okay, 80 lies between 75 to 100 and 80 it is very close to the 75. So up to the 80 we need to take the height of this column for 10th. Okay, so this is the bar graph of given situation. Now one more thing students, instead of taking 25, 50, 75, here just start your graph with the 80. After that 80, 85, 90, 95, 100 and up to the 135. Okay, Just start your graph with the 80, 85, 90, 95 and take the numbers up to the 135. Okay, so that you will get the exact value of all the answers. Okay, just take the numbers 80, 85, 90, 95 on the y-axis. Instead of taking this, you can take any number. Okay, so if you take 80, 85, 90, then all the numbers are multiple of 5, so you can easily represent all the numbers on the graph. Okay, and if you start from 80, after that 85, 90, so here you need to change the scale. 1 centimeter is equals to 5 children only. 85 to 90, that means gap of 5 students, so 1 centimeter is equals to 5 children. And if you start with the 80, okay, here if you start with the 80, 85, 90 and here 0. Now if you start with the 80, so here you need to cut your graph, because here we have 80, 85, 90. So before 80 we want 75, but here we are taking 0. It means up to 75 to 0 we just skip the graph. If we skip the graph, so we need to put this sign here. We need to cut our graph. Okay, here take 8, 80, 85, 90, so you can easily represent your bar graph. And here we are taking 0, so here we need to cut this graph, because instead of 75 here we are taking 0. It means in between graph we just skip here. And one more changes, that is for the scale. 1 centimeter is equals to 5 children. Okay, now after that, how would you choose a scale? So it's already done, right? 1 centimeter is equals to, if we take the 5 children, so here we need to write 5 children. In this graph it takes 25 children, so here 1 centimeter is equals to 25 children, right? Answer the following questions. Which class has the maximum number of children and the minimum? Which class has the maximum number of children? So you can see from the table, otherwise you can see from the graph. Now highest number is 135, right? And it is of class 5th. So we can write the answer. 5th class has the maximum number of children, and for the minimum number here we have 80. It is for class 10th. So 10th standard, class 10th has the minimum strength. Okay, from the graph, otherwise from this data we can give the answer. Which class has the maximum number of children? So 5th class, it have the 135 students, right? And for minimum strength, 10th class, because 10th class has the minimum number of childrens, right? So maximum strength, it is there in the class 5th, and minimum strength, it is there in the class 10th. Now second question, find the ratio of students of class 6th to the class of, so the students of class 8. Find the ratio of student of class 6 to the student of class 8. That means we need to take the ratio of class 6 and class 8. Okay, so 120 divided by 100. Ratio, that means division. Okay, 6 and 8, so for 6 120 and for 8 100. Now 110 cut. Now 12 by 10, so here 2 6 are 12 and here 2 5 are 10, so 2 to cut, 6 by 5. This is the ratio. Okay, here we need to find the ratio of student of a class 6 to the student of class 8. So 6 to 8, so 120 divided by 100. 110 cut, here 2 6 are 12, 2 5s are 10, 2 to cut, so 6 by 5. Okay, so this question is done here. After that, question number 4. The performance of a student in first term and second term is given. Draw a double bar graph choosing appropriate scale and answer the following questions. Here we need to draw the double bar graph. Okay, so on x-axis we just represent two details together. First of all, we need to select the details for x-axis and y-axis. Here non-numerical terms, it is subject. So this subject we need to show on the x-axis, and here we have the marks. So marks we need to represent on the y-axis. Okay. On x-axis we need to represent the name of the subjects, and on y-axis we need to represent the marks. Okay, numerical value we need to represent on the y-axis. So here on x-axis subject and on the y-axis marks. Now which are the subjects given to you? English, Hindi, Maths, Science, SS. So that we need to write here: English, Hindi, Maths, Science and Social Science. After that, for the marks, if we think about these marks, so minimum number is 65, and maximum number it is 95. So we need to cover the maximum number and minimum number, right? So we need to cover minimum number 65 and maximum number 95. So here on y-axis you can write like this: 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. So on x-axis we are taking name of the subject: English, Hindi, Maths, Science and SS, and on y-axis we take the marks: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 and 90. Now we can represent the details. First of all, you need to select the pattern for first term and second term. Okay, so here we have one box. In that we need to write this. If blank box is we can use for the first term, you can take any design. Okay, and in second column fill up box is there, that will represent the marks of second term. Okay, so these things also we need to define here. Okay, here we need to define these things even for first term and second term. So for first term blank portion, and for second term this fill up portion is there. Okay, so for first term blank portion and for second term fill up portion, so that we need to write here. Now for English, okay, now for English just we need to take the half part of the box, otherwise we can take full box even, but here we have more subjects, so we cannot easily represent all the subject in one box. So we need to divide our one box into two part. So half box it's for blank portion and half box is for fill up portion, first term and second term. Now for English subject, first of all 67 and 70. Now 67, which is lies between 60 and 70, right? And here we have this scale: 1 centimeter is equals to 10 marks. Okay, one box is represent 10 marks, so 1 centimeter is equals to 10 marks. Now in between we have 10 lines. So if we want 67, so after 60 we want 7th line, it represents 67. Okay, here 60 is there, after that in between 60 to 70 10 lines are there, so 7th line represents 67. Okay, so 7th line represents this 67 for the first term, that means for the blank portion. After that we need to represent 70 for the second term. So for 70 we need to represent up to the 70, and we need to fill this portion for second term. Now for Hindi first term 72. So after 72 lines, so it is 72 blank portion, it is for the first term, and for the second term 65. For the second term 65 it is exactly in between 60 to 70, and it is fill up portion because it will represent the marks of second term. Okay, after that for Maths first term 88. So blank column we need to represent 88. So here after 88 lines it represents 88 in first term, and in second term 95. In second term 95, exactly in between 90 to 100, it is 95. Okay, and we need to fill up this portion, so it will represent the marks of second term. After that for Science 81. So for science, blank portion 81, after 81 line 81, and for second term 85 exactly lies between 80 to 90, after 85 lines 85. Okay, and we need to fill up this portion. Okay, and last social science, first term 73, after 73 lines, after 73 lines and blank portion represents the marks of SS in first term, and here 75 exactly in between 70 to 80 after 75 lines. So after 75 lines and fill up portion represents the SS marks in second term. Okay, so this is the bar graphs. Here subjects, here marks, here first term second term sign and scales. Okay, now after the bar graph we need to give the answer of these questions. In which subject has the child improved his performance the most? In which subject has the child improved his performance the most? We can give the answers by using these details, otherwise by using this graphs. Okay, in which subject has the child improved his performance the most? Okay, so we need to find the highest improvement. So first of all we need to find the improvement in all the subject. After that we can decide in which subject child improve the most. Okay, if we talk about the English, so here in English difference is 70 minus 67. 70 minus 67, it's a 3. Okay, here 65 minus 72. 65 minus 72, so minus 7. That means here not improves the performance but decrease the performance. Okay, here difference is 95 minus 88, 7. 85 minus 81, 4. 75 minus 73, 2. So as compared to first term, in second term, in which subject the child improve his performance the most? So here highest improvement is 7 and subject is maths. Okay, so our answer of first question, in maths the child improve his performance the most. Okay, highest improvement we can see in the maths here. Here we need to find the difference in all subjects. So 70 minus 67, 3. 65 minus 72, minus 7. 95 minus 88, 7. 85 minus 81, 4. 75 minus 73, 2. So highest improvement it is there in the maths, right? So he has most improved in math subject. After that second question, in which subject the improvement the least? Okay, in which subject is the improvement the least? So here if we talk about the improvement, so here again improvement, here 3, here minus 7, here plus 7, here 4 and here 2. Our second question is, in which subject is the improvement the least? First of all, here first thing it is for the improvement, and after that list, that means minimum improvement. Okay, if we think about the Hindi, so here child does not improve himself. Okay, here child does not improve himself. We need to find the minimum improvement, so we cannot consider Hindi because here we do not have any improvement. Okay, here decrease in the marks, but here we need to find the minimum improvement. So we need to think about the remaining subject. So here minimum improvement it is 2 and it is in the subject SS, social science. Okay, here just take care about these things. We cannot write the Hindi because in Hindi child does not improve anything. Okay, it decreases marks in Hindi. So we do not need to consider Hindi, but minimum improvement is there in social science and it is of 2 marks. So our answer of second question, in social science subject his improvement is less. After that our third question, has the performance gone down in any subject? Has the performance gone down in any subject? Yes. In which subject? Hindi, right? Because in Hindi improvement is minus 7, it means down the marks, right? So here our answer is Hindi. Yes, in Hindi subject performance gone down. Okay, So our third answer is yes, in Hindi subject his performance has gone down. Okay, so students, if you have any doubt up to the question number 4, you can write in comment section. I will give you the answer. Okay, thank you.